homeowners, it's not a question of if, but when the next hurricane will come. No matter what Florida weather has in store, Storm Smart has products that protect every opening of your home while improving the look, feel, and function. From durable aluminum shutters, high-impact windows and doors, to our innovative storm catcher screens, products that enhance the beauty of your home and keep your family safe. Because Smart is complete hurricane protection, and Smart is peace of mind. Call Storm Smart today for your free in-home consultation.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac Home Standby Generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Storm Smart. Protect every opening of your home. And Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
How you doing, everybody? It's a Tuesday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. And yeah, as you noticed, we've been doing some testing today, lots of different ways. Our TV stream has been flawless, showing up on the spot. The Bolts are playing tonight. We are streaming as well as social. And our crack staff of engineers are still working on trying to figure out exactly what's causing some of the freezing in social. But we are here. And so for the next half hour, we're going to be talking about our rain today for some of us. Not many, but for some. We're going to be talking about the upcoming weekend forecast with the chance of rain for some. Not many, but some. And y'all know my affinity to Christmas stuff. You guys know it. I am a Christmas fanatic. Matter of fact, I did a Zoom today for National Giving Day with the folks at Citrus County United Way, and I supered my name Clark Griswold. I literally did. And the guy, and the first George, the host, who's still on because he was doing this for 12 straight hours, like, Clark Griswold, and I go, dude, you don't know. I am the best and worst of Clark Griswold. I am the man who will go out singing and spending hours trying to figure out why the lights don't work, and I'm that same man who will then kick the Santa thing that's on the ground because it isn't working right. And the same guy who gets locked up in the attic crying when he looks at old Christmas videos of his family. So with that being said, I saw the commercial that was running from the Straz on an event that's going to be coming up shortly, called Carolmania, I believe. And we're going to talk to the folks who are putting that on coming up in just a couple of minutes. But before we do that, I do want to jump in about what's happening locally, give a little bit. Yeah, Denise, I've seen you mention this a couple of times. I really don't think the Amazon Web Services has anything to do with it. They saw your post earlier. I just don't think that's it. I will tell you, we have looked and looked and looked, but we are still attempting, and we will find it. But one thing that we want to jump into, let's go ahead and jump right into weather, because I do have some guests that we're going to be talking to coming up in a couple of minutes, Alan and Kathy Glist. But look, there's our drought map, and we all know. Look, let's not go crazy. And at times, there have been some media sources that have a tendency to do that. But overall, we all know in the wintertime, it's most of the time going to be nice, right? It's why the snowbirds come visit us. It's why we have so many vacationers in the winter, because we get our sunshine and we have our pleasant temperatures and we don't get a lot of rain. The problem lies in the fact that we didn't get quite as much rain this summer as we usually do. So we're already starting behind the eight ball. We're already in a deficit going into a dry time of the year. And that means that we're likely going to see that continue. You never say never, but we've been, as our DPL folks know, we've been talking about this for weeks, that a storm track is going to set up that's going to bring a lot of rain and potentially snow from the Carolinas to the deep south. The problem is it's going to stay in the deep south, and most of it will not make it into Florida. Some will, and today even did, but most of us won't. So there's a look at the drought numbers, and you can see right in front of us, look, we're in a moderate drought. I would bet my bottom dollar at some point in the near future we will go to a severe drought, maybe even an extreme. But again, that happens in the wintertime, so that's not all that unusual. We can take a live look at radar here, and I will go ahead and just show you what's going on about this. So let's go ahead and do some zooming around here with the radar. And yeah, there is a little bit of rain across Manatee County and Hardee County. Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete had a few showers earlier on, but those have now pretty much dissipated. All right. So hold on a second. I have my IFB here. Are we freezing on that yet? No, I don't think we're freezing. I think we're okay. So yeah, let me know, by the way, guys, if you see any kind of freezing on Facebook. We never freeze on streaming. We never freeze on, it doesn't appear to be on YouTube either. It just seems to be a Facebook thing. And yes, David, we are good with red tide so far. I have not seen anything to the contrary. Temperatures right now in the 70s. This morning, we started in the upper 60s to lower 70s, and highs today hit the low to middle 80s. So yeah, it was a very, very warm day across the area. And tomorrow we got that front coming in. And that front is going to shift the winds to the north. And when they do, we are going to see a cool down. 75 right now in Tampa, the dew point in the low 70s. So it is definitely a muggy evening and a little bit of fog in some areas being reported, certainly some low clouds. But look at the morning low. We only dropped down to 71 degrees. That's 13 degrees above average. More importantly, look at the rain. How about it? 6/100 of an inch of rain today in Tampa. But notice what we are for the year. We are 9 inches below average, and it's just going to get worse. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the 7-day, and we're going to bring our guests in. And then after that, we'll go back and do some looking at some models and whatnot. But I don't want to keep them here for no reason, just to wait for our weather, because they're in South Florida. And, you know, they have their own weather, guys. All right, so there's a look at Wednesday. We're going to go 73, 78 on Thursday, 80 on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there is a chance that we are going to see a few showers as a front comes in. All right, so there you have it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to talk to Alan and Kathy. And first of all, how y'all doing? Thanks for joining us on DPL, guys.
We're doing great. In fact, we're excited to listen to your weather report because we're driving tomorrow morning. We're leaving South Florida at 9 for Tampa.
Oh, so you are right now, you are still in South Florida.
Right.
We are. We're on our way. We're coming for the weather and for our great show.
So tell me a little bit about the show, because I saw the commercials, and it's Carolmania, right?
It
Yes.
is.
Okay, so how did that start? Because I love Christmas caroling. In fact, one of my best memories of my childhood was my high school choir went to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, and we went around and we caroled everywhere. And we were talking about this earlier. People don't carol as much as they used to. I mean, it used to be a thing.
You know, we love that part of it. We love the spirit of the holidays and bringing people and families together. So this show really is immersive. It's interactive. It's fun. And it really, I think, speaks to the heart of the holiday season, just getting the family together. And we spend about an hour and a half in song, singing all the fabulous Christmas songs that we grew up on. Generations of people together singing in harmony. It's magical.
So okay, but how does that work for the people who are going? So here, I'm going to show a little bit of video, but now this is just actually of from a couple of nights ago in Fort Lauderdale. But so you got people dancing, you got people singing out in the audience. So how does that work?
Everybody participates. It's the most immersive, interactive show I've ever seen or that we've ever been a part of. We have an ugly sweater contest where people come on stage, the audience votes, we give prizes. We have Name That Tune of Christmas carols for kids and adults. It's a full family fun package. It's really great. We got to see it for the first time. We did the the kind of the world premiere of this tour started in Fort Lauderdale. Straz in Tampa is our next stop this Thursday, December 4th at 7:30. And we got to see it for the first time with the audience, and the audience becomes the star. In fact, we have really cool t-shirts and sweatshirts that we give out. It says, "I'm the star at Carolmania." Because
So you bring people from the crowd up onto stage?
Yes.
So actually, we have a maestro, and we have two people who we affectionately call vocal shepherds.
And a live orchestra.
And you mentioned, Dennis, that you were in the choir as a kid and you loved caroling. So what happens is the audience becomes a choir. So they are taught harmonies to songs that they've known their whole lives, and sometimes they're singing melodies, and it becomes this massive, beautiful choir, people singing from their heart. And I feel like it raises a vibration in the room, and we create this harmony that hopefully we will take out into the world. And it was just a party for all on Saturday.
So I see all the snow falling. So is that at every performance too?
It is.
Nice, nice.
You might not be predicting snow, but there will be snow at the Straz.
So how many nights is it going to be there, and how can you get tickets?
We're there only one night. We're on a tour of Florida, all one-nighters, and then we head to the Northeast. We're doing New York and New Jersey and Vermont. So we're only at the Straz this Thursday night. You can either get tickets on Straz.com, or is it Ticketmaster also?
I think the Straz website is the best place to go.
STRAZ. We're there this Thursday, December 4th, 7:30 p.m. It's a family fun event. I'm telling you, everybody should come. It's a blast. We were very pleasantly surprised. It was like one big party. People had a ball. People didn't want to leave. They didn't want to go home.
I didn't know that it was a single night thing. I work on Thursday, so I don't get to go, but I'll live vicariously for the folks who do go. So, and how long is it? And I mean, all ages, obviously, right?
Yes,
Really,
all ages.
really all
We had kids from 3-4 years old, and I saw some people that looked like they were in their 80s and 90s. It was everybody.
That is
and
awesome.
People really got caught up in the spirit. They were singing, they were dancing. We do some body percussion. It really is a feel-good night at the theater, kind of a hybrid of a concert, a musical theater piece, and a good old-fashioned Christmas carol sing-along.
How long's the show?
It's about just under 90 minutes. Depending on how interactive the audience is, it can go from 75 to 90. We sort of had to shut it down in Fort Lauderdale after 90. It felt like it could have gone on for 2 hours.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, we were saying this a minute ago. I used to love going Christmas caroling. I mean, and people would do it, right? You would get a bunch of people, you'd go knock on doors, and people would open their door. I know I'm sounding like an old guy now. I know I am. But, you know, and now you're not going to go knock on people's doors because they're not going to answer it most of the time. And it's just, times have changed. And that makes me sad because caroling, honestly, is one of my favorite. Matter of fact, this Saturday, I'm going to Epcot for the candlelight processional. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but it is my favorite thing in the world. It's local choirs, which, by the way, we are going to have next week on DPL, one of the Manatee County choirs that's performing in the candlelight processional. And my hope is they're actually going to sing one of the songs live on DPL. So it is in my DNA. I love it, and I do miss it terribly. So for the folks who feel the same way, they can check it out Thursday only, right? Thursday only.
December 4th at 7:30 at the Straz Center. Dennis, I recommend you speak to your producer, get the night off, get your sub in. You must come see the show. Bring your daughter, bring your friends and family. I promise you'll have a ball. You can sing at the top of your voice. I
would love to. I would. It really sounds like a lot of fun. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck with the tour. And y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Take care, guys. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was awesome, and yeah, it's, you know, that is something I know. Look, I know that's something that people nowadays, you know, you're reliving your past, and yes, there's truth to be told on that, but I miss caroling. I do. I mean, do y'all remember? I mean, I know the younger folks, and by the way, I'm getting a kick out of this lately because in the last couple of weeks, I'm getting so many people who are coming up saying, oh, yeah, I watched your show where you're wearing your sweater. I was at the golf course Sunday. Oh, yeah, I watched your show with the sweater. I'm like, no, you must be talking about somebody else. I don't wear a sweater. No, the thing that says rules, oh, my hoodie. I mean, we're getting a lot of folks kind of tuning into DPL from time to time. And obviously during hurricane season and when there's severe weather, we're going to have a lot more. But we're doing our best to try to keep things going, things that are going on. Like I said, we're going to be talking to the folks from the Candlelight Processional soon. I've got an appearance going on at Oyster Fest coming up in January. We're going to talk to those folks. So we're trying, and I'll encourage this to y'all again, because tonight we are not on TV. We're on streaming and social. If you have an idea for somebody that you'd like to come on the show, because let's be honest, guys, if there's a drought going on, if we have no rain in the forecast for weeks on end, I would love to have some folks actually come up with some interesting things. I'd like to get the folks from Busch Gardens for their Christmas Town on as well. So we're kind of working on all of that. So now, Ryan, well, first of all, let's go ahead and look at some of the let's go back. Actually, let's go back, and I'll finish the forecast, and then we'll just kind of answer questions as we go along here. Let's go ahead and take this. And thanks for the feedback, by the way, on the audio. I'm director, I'm producer, I'm talent, I'm floor sweeper, I'm everything on this. So sometimes there's certain buttons I forget to press. So I am truly appreciative of all the feedback. Charlotte, I wish. I mean, and I think you're right. I actually do get calls from time to time about going to assisted living facilities and whatnot, because I know a lot of the folks there love seeing younger kids and singing in choirs. I get that. But I just remember when they used to go around the neighborhood. And, you see a Coke commercial from time to time. And you've got people out there caroling. I'm like, no, not in this world, not these days. I haven't seen. In my neighborhood, of all neighborhoods, that is lit up with Christmas stuff already completely. And by the way, Ryan asked about that. I'll go ahead and say, my Ferris wheel apparently comes tomorrow. I mean, it's not a big one, not like the guy. There's a guy who lives in Countryside. I don't even know if he still lives there. This was 20 years ago I saw it, maybe. But big Ferris wheel with Christmas stuff, and I just loved it. I was so envious. I wanted it desperately. And I looked everywhere to try to find, and he probably just made it himself, and I could never in a million years do that. But if anybody knows who the person is who has the Ferris wheel in Countryside, message me and let me know, because I want it. No, I did buy a smaller version of it that comes tomorrow. I don't know how long it's going to take to install it, put it together, but that's on the way. But most of the neighborhood lights are up. As always, not everybody participates, but the majority of people do. And our hot chocolate night is going to be on December 13th. December 13th, one night this year. We're not doing it two, because the following Saturday I'm the Grand Marshal at the Tampa Riverboat Parade, the holiday parade. And so that, I can only do it on the one night, but that will be plenty, because we'll have lots of folks. And again, proceeds benefit Children's Miracle Network, Feeding Tampa Bay, whatnot. And it's going to be a lot of fun, as always. But most of the lights are there. Now, I will tell you, yeah, Karen, that was a really, really sweet story. A guy came up to me, gosh, I can't remember the specifics, but his father had passed away. And the last thing that he had bought as his father as a Christmas decoration was a Christmas Ferris wheel for their village. And he knew how I'm really trying to build my village. And he came over and gave me, and it's prominent now right there in the middle of our Christmas village. So I'm not even a Ferris wheel guy. I just loved that one at Countryside. And then this beautiful one that was sent from the viewer in honor of his father. And to me, again, that's just kind of what the holidays are. It's holiday traditions, and it's, remembering your loved ones, the ones that are with us and ones that are no longer with us. And to me, that is what it is all about. So let's go back and look at temperatures. So tomorrow morning, we are going to be mostly in the low to mid 60s across Pinellas and Hillsborough County. We're going to be in the mid to upper 50s from Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco County. So it'll be another nice, cool-ish morning, but a little bit cooler on Thursday morning. I think Jeff knows the guy with the Ferris wheel in Countryside. Jeff, you gotta You got to work with me and like go to the guy and say, hey, because I would put him on DPL. At the very least, I want to show you this Ferris wheel. Love it. And then, maybe we could work a deal. Or he could tell me where he got it, because I just love it. There was one in Tarpon Springs, too. There was a house that had a Ferris wheel in Tarpon Springs, too, but I don't think they do it anymore. So yeah, Jeff, let me know. Let me know. Help me out here. All right, there's a look at your forecast. Tomorrow we clear out. Thursday, we're nice. We're back up to nearly 80 again. Notice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and even into Monday next week. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to show you the models in just a second, because I think there's rain and snow in the forecast for the Carolinas in the next week. Excuse me. The problem is, and we've said this now for a couple of weeks on DPL, the storm track is such that most of the weather is going to stay across the deep south and not so much into Florida. Some of it will, most of it won't. There's a look at your forecast for temperatures. We cool off tomorrow. Northerly wind, nice day. Even though we start out cool on Thursday, we're right back up to near 80 in the afternoon. Saturday, Sunday depends on where that front's going to go, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. And then we see temperatures drop early next week behind the next front. All right? There's your forecast tonight. I'm seeing someone say, he said the circumstances changed for the owner, not enough room anymore. Yeah, I could see it. It's a good-sized Ferris wheel. And I don't have a big yard. But I'd blow everything out for that Ferris wheel. Anyway, my new one comes tomorrow. Who knows how long it'll take me to put together. There's your forecast tonight. Did you guys have a good weekend? My voice, I'm still sick. You can hear it. But I'm doing my best to get through it. Cloudy to partly cloudy. Temperatures at the beach tomorrow. Now, temperatures will fall through the afternoon. It's going to be one of those days where the temperatures will be a little cooler in the afternoon and in the morning. We're going to have northerly winds in the afternoon, so that'll drop the temperatures a little bit. And those winds are going to be a little gusty. And then on Thursday morning, we drop off. So there's a look at that 7-day. 73 tomorrow, 78 Thursday, 80 on Friday, and then the chance of some rain over the weekend. All right? So let's talk more about that, shall we? Let's go ahead and jump into the models and look at that. By the way, have we been freezing at all? I don't know. Yeah, Larry Park Zoo. I know you're right. I know they do stuff at Halloween and over Christmas as well. So I'd be interested. All right. So there's a look at Tampa over the next 2 weeks. Now you notice the temperatures are pretty close to what we were just saying. 73 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday, 79 on Friday and Saturday. Front comes through on Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, highs in the upper 60s. And then kind of a gradual warm up into the following week. So, not bad. But what about rain? All right. Let's take a look at the model, shall we? This is the GFS. And you're not going to believe this, but I'm actually leaning a little. No freezing tonight, says Kim. Thank you. We just can't figure out why sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't. We just can't. I just don't know why. It's befuddling us. John's watching on YouTube, and no freezing there. So I don't know. All right, anyway, there's a look at when I'm leaning toward the GFS solution toward the early part of next week. I'll show you why in a minute. There's Thursday. There's Thursday night. The 540 line digs into Central Virginia, Roanoke. And look at what we start to see. Remember what we were saying a couple weeks ago. Remember how I drew this exact zoop, just like this. Like this is going to be your storm track over the next few weeks. And the GFS is on board with that now. So I want you to check this out. So this is Thursday. All right, there's Friday. Rain across Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, the Carolinas. There's Saturday. And then you get low pressure developing and moving away. We get the trailing front because another low develops by Sunday. So this prediction of storm track moving through is exactly what I think is going to happen. So there is Saturday, there is Sunday, still off to our north, but close enough to give us a chance of rain on Sunday, which may be an issue for the Bucs game, potentially. We'll see. And then look at what develops. Now, this is a challenging forecast and one that is very subject to change, but cold air digging down, right? Low pressure developing off the coast of the Carolinas. You put the two together, what do you get? You get some snow as that storm develops. Now you're like, all right, well, there's the GFS. The GFS always blows stuff up. You're right. It's 6 days out, though. 6 days out is at least a reasonable potential development. But what does the Euro show? Cold air, low pressure, but not as strong of low pressure. But it's still there. So you've got, look at, there's Monday, GFS Euro, GFS Euro. So it is not identical, but it is certainly closer. So we go back with the GFS. There's the potential for snow as low pressure cranks up, 988. Probably not going to happen. It's a big storm. Moves out to sea. Draws in the cold air behind it. But look what happens behind that. Another little storm develops, a little low pressure, and then high pressure builds in. And then toward the end of the period, another system develops out of Texas. But you've got a period in the middle of the month where you've got a massive high pressure dome over the eastern third of the U.S., and you finally start to see some snow out west. And snow lovers rejoice. That's what they want to hear. Outdoor wedding for 30 minutes at 11 a.m. on Saturday, Karen wants to know. All right, let's look. Saturday morning, there's the GFS. Partly cloudy, no rain. There's the Euro. Partly cloudy, rain off to the north. Both of which have rain off to the north. I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay. But check in tomorrow because we're still 4 days out. But I think you're going to be okay. But let's look at the Euro during this same time frame. There's Thursday. There's that same storm track we talked about across the deep south. And there's that same low. So you've got GFS, Euro. That is, my friends, identical. Look at Saturday. North, 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 same. Look at Saturday night. Still just to the north. But by Sunday, boy, they are really close. By Sunday, we have a chance of rain as the front swings through, and that could be some rain, which we need it, but could be an issue for the Bucs game, potentially. And then the front comes through. And when it comes through, we clear out, and that cold air we talked about rolls in for 3 days. And look at that. Europe brings another storm coming in out of the Gulf. See it? And brings it north. So there is some potential for rain over the next 10 days. But are we looking at drought-busting rain? Ah, man, I missed the end of streamers. Streamers are out at 58. It used to be I just press this one button to get this thing going. Now I got like 5 buttons over here I got to remember to press, and if I don't turn it off, it'll keep streaming. I don't know. We're giving it our best. We're doing the best we can. So let's recap, shall we? We're going to start with the 7-day. All right? And then I got to go clean because there's all this mess behind the studio in the weather area, and it hasn't been cleaned for like 2 years. So I got to go do that. So I went and got the broom and the dustpan and everything out of the back area, and I'm going to town. I'm doing some early winter, late fall cleaning today. All right, there's a look at the 7-day. When will it get cold? Andorra, it's going to get chilly on Monday. Yeah, Anna Maria, I forgot the streamers. I did. I feel bad. So there's Thursday, 78, partly sunny, 80 on Friday, chance of rain late Saturday, not in the morning for the wedding. Congratulations, by the way, for the wedding. And Sunday is the best chance of rain. Jessica, how you doing? So there it is. There it is. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? I think I covered everything. Gonna go clean. Gotta go clean. Yeah, me too, Charlotte. I just found out we weren't on TV. All I got to do is look and see when the Bolts play, because 90% of the time, if the Bolts are playing, we're not going to be on the spot. But rain for Night of Lights this weekend in St. Augustine, Nick wants to know. All right, Nick, let's look. Since this is interactive, my goal is to answer all your questions. So if we look at Saturday, St. Augustine, I will tell you, I do think there's a chance of scattered showers, definitely on Sunday. Definitely on Sunday, maybe on Saturday evening. That's the GFS. The Euro, that's Saturday, that's rain in St. Augustine. Yeah, the Euro is actually even a little bit more bullish for the, for the lights. Now, I will tell you, I told Shay in the weather department that I was going to clean back there today. And she's like, Dennis, wear a mask. You get sick all the time as it is. She goes, and she even said, she's like, it's the mom and me. And I go, well, I'll be like the dad and me and not listen to you, because that's just what dads do most of the time. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Now, I am not even familiar with Hazel. I do think that's a show. Wasn't Hazel a maid in a show in the 50s? Or am I totally off base? I may have seen it on like TV Land or something. Charlotte, that is hey, you know what? The Bolts, by the way, have won 7 straight games. The Bolts are on a bit of a roll. And let's see how they're doing tonight, because I've not gotten an update. I've not gotten an update from anybody. The Bolts are no score with the Islanders, just started the second period. So there we go. All right. John wants to know if Christmas Eve will be cold. Don't know. Don't know. But I do know that we are going to see a stretch of cooler weather the early part of next week. So let's kind of go over what we got going on. We have a guest. I don't know if we have a guest tomorrow or not. I can't remember. But I do know Colleen's freezing in southeast Wisconsin. Well, then come on down to Florida, because we're always warm most of the time. And unfortunately, we don't have any rain either. We're going to have the folks from the Candlelight Processional coming up in the next week, which I'm really excited about. I think they're going to sing. I might be wrong. But at the very least, that maybe we'll play a video of them singing the song that they're going to sing for the processional. Now, I'm going on Saturday, and the guest speaker is Ralph Macchio. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't dislike Ralph Macchio, but I'm not a Ralph Macchio fan. I think that was kind of girls my age, a little younger maybe. He was kind of the heartthrob, the Tiger Beat, Team Beat guy back then with Karate Kid and whatnot. Never my thing. But I've never seen him. And that'll be fun, because I love Cobra Kai, but I was rooting for Johnny pretty much the entire time. If you have not watched Cobra Kai and you've watched The Karate Kid, you should, because it's actually very funny. It's actually a good show. But anyway, I'm seeing Ralph Macchio do the processional on Saturday. I've seen a lot of them over the years. I'll say this again. Look, I'm a Disney pass holder, so my family loves Disney, so they're pass holders, so am I. But I love the processional. And if you've never gone, I cannot recommend it enough. They read the Christmas story, and it's always a famous person like Neil Patrick Harris or Gary Sinise or, all sorts of people, right? It's a famous person, and then they have these choirs that sing the songs, and it's just unbelievably awesome. So I suggest to anybody who is looking to do something and you feel like you want to be festive, it's at Epcot, not at the Magic Kingdom. And they have 3 shows a night, 4, 7, and 8:30 or something like that. You have to stand in line a lot of times. You might want to stand in line for like an hour or an hour and a half to get a good seat, but it's worth it. So, how you doing, Andy? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know, Bridget. Okay, this has nothing to do with Ralph Macchio. I just thought Daniel LaRusso was kind of a whiner. I just did, all right? Not the character, not the actor, not the actor. I've seen him in many movies that I thought I was just perfectly great, so I'm not down on Ralph Macchio at all. I just didn't like Daniel LaRusso. I thought he was a whiner. I did. Okay, David wants to know if hoodies are on sale for the holidays. I did not talk about that. I've never really put them on sale because we donate the money, So it kind of defeats the purpose of doing it for charity if we're discounting the price. My cousin, well, of course he was in My Cousin Vinny, and I loved his character in My Cousin Vinny because you guys know me, I love My Cousin Vinny. So yes, you're right, Bridget. Great character, because he wasn't a whiner. He was a whiner in The Karate Kid. Just my opinion. All right, there is a look at, if you Google Fourth Wall, Rule 7 Shop, proceeds benefit Children's Miracle Network, Feeding Tampa Bay. I've never done a sale just because, again, we donate the proceeds. It doesn't mean I can't, I just never have. There are some of the hoodies and tanks. I love this tank right there. I think it's pretty cool with the Bucks colors. It's pretty sweet. I have a t-shirt, actually, of those exact colors. And it is a strong t-shirt. It's my favorite one. So we've got zippered hoodies, and we've got stickers and muscle shirts and mugs. And I think the mugs are pretty awesome, too, actually. But you asked, and there's 11 ounce. I didn't know this. There's 11 ounce, there's 15 ounce, and there's 20 ounce. I had no idea. See, I didn't even, because I hardly ever look at the site. But you'll get this in plenty of time for Christmas. There's a heat lightning candle, snuggle alert, bags. I probably should post it again and mention it, though everything will be ready for Christmas for people with Christmas presents, because they really are, and they benefit the local charity. Yes, Michelle, we are still doing the hot chocolate. We still are doing the hot chocolate. Oh, wait a minute. I got to heat up the buzzer, somebody says. Wait a minute. There's a psychic. Where's the psychic? I'm scrolling up. Wait a minute. Are they here? Oh, here we go. Yep. So here's my question. If this person really was a psychic, do you think they knew that they would get banned like I'm about to ban them? That's my question. So let's ban from all live streams. You stink. Come on. You're clearly not much of a psychic, because if you were, you'd known you were going to get banned. So what's the point? All right, you're gone. Psychic's gone. All right. Guess that's about it. Nice try, psychic loser. All right, that's it. Tomorrow we'll look ahead a little bit more to see if we have some snow for the Carolinas early next week. That'll be interesting. Certainly not even close to set in stone. I would say chances maybe 30% right now, but it is something. Muhammad wants to know what the weather is going to be like on Saturday. Mary, happy birthday to your husband. Happy birthday to, yes, exactly, Kim, they should have seen it coming. They should have seen it coming. That was in Chicago. Wasn't that song in Chicago? Or am I wrong? I think there was a song. No, they had it coming. That's what it was. They had it coming. That was in Chicago. I know it was close to that. All right, where was I? Wait a minute. Someone asked me about the weather on Saturday. Tricky. I'll say it one more time. Tricky. So if you look, I didn't show you this one either. Just for the heck of it, I called up the tropics too. I don't even know why. Just because. Annie wants a purple hoodie. I don't know if we have purple. I mean, we might. I mean, look. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if there's a Let's do, I don't see any purple on that. Maybe there's a purple in the heat wave one. I thought I remember, you piqued my curiosity. But I heard that the heat wave one may have been sold out. I wonder if we have like a t-shirt. We do have purple t-shirts. Or is that blue? No, that's Flow Blue. And then we have blue jean. We don't have purple on that. I don't think I have ever seen a purple t-shirt. Where is that heat wave one? Here's a purple mug. Or is that pink? That's pink. I digress. I was going to show you guys the tropics, but now I'm really curious about this. I want to know. The heat wave purple, this would look good with purple. Nope, sky blue. That's all we got. Nope, sorry. I don't think we have purple. Carolina blue, royal blue. Carolina blue, where's Carolina Mike? Where's Cruise Mike? He should be buying that. Cruise Mike should own that hoodie. Sorry, Anna Maria. All right, so there's a look at the tropics. And boy, look at that ridge. Man, that's a monster ridge in the middle of the month. Holy cow. Monster ridge, middle of the month. But that's about it. Okay. GFS Christmas hurricane would not shock me. All right. I'm going to go tackle the back. I've got my Lysol. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wipes, broom, mop. If you don't see me again, you'll know what happened. I got overcome by what's behind this wall right there. So have a good night. And God willing, I will be back on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. You guys have a great night. We'll see you.